Few songs draw the ire and opinion and conflict of most guitar players when you bring up the topic of Stairway to Heaven. When you're going to play it in a music store, you're going to get side-eye looks, you're going to get whatever. It's one of the most iconic guitar solos of all time. I mean, come on. So I decided to play this solo on all my electric guitars. I wanted to see how it sounded. Did the different guitars give it a different sonic characteristic? Just going to be interesting. So here in the confines of my own studio in my home, without drawing the wrath of music store employees and others, we're going to go through this experiment and we're going to play the solo across all of these and let's see how it sounds. Warning, if you're one of those people for whom this song is forbidden, you've decided that you're too beyond it, that you've heard it too many times, or you work in a music store and you just can't hear it anymore, this video is not for you and you can go now. Though I do wonder why you clicked on the video in the first place. I did learn a few things after going through this experience, and I'll share those quickly after the clips at the end. All right, so without any further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so some things I learned through this experience. One of the things that was interesting to me was that it sort of didn't matter what guitar I was playing. It kind of sounded similar. I guess it makes sense a little bit. You know, I've got, you know, the signal chain that I have. It's the same player playing it in the same way. And I know that's a huge part of what you hear when you're hearing guitar players. You know, the same guitar player playing different guitars, it sort of sounds like that person, right? The different pickups, I think, influenced it more so than others. So going from single coil to humbucker, that did seem to influence the sound a bit to my ear. Something else I learned, the G1275, the Epiphone double neck, man, that is a real challenge to play way up high. That little riff at the very end, can't really do it very well. It's a function of where the neck meets the body. So you really can't get up there. I mean, that's a 20 fret guitar. Most of the others are 22 frets. But what was interesting, you know, once I did that, you know, you go back and you listen to Page playing it live on Led Zeppelin, and he's not doing that riff either, like the way that you hear it on the record, because he's not doing that big high bend at the very end either. And that's why. It's because, you know, it's really hard to get your hand on there. I've seen some players do it. I mean, if you sit down and you hunch over and you like arch up your wrist on the thing and you work on it for a week, okay, maybe you can do it. But when you're when you're standing there rocking out, playing it on that guitar, no. And Jimmy Page, probably influenced with substances, wasn't going to work that hard to get to that. But if you listen to those recordings, you can hear how he does it sort of similar how I was able to do it. And that's why, because of that guitar. Of all my guitars, probably the Casino was the most difficult to play this solo on. Now this is a Chinese production Casino. It's not a custom shop. It's nothing like that. I replaced all the electronics on it, so it sounds a lot better than that stock version of that. But, you know, the playability of the neck on all of that, you know, that also has a different place where the neck joins the body. I just found it difficult. So there you go, for what it's worth. So finally, I did 2 takes with each guitar when I did this. And I just chose the better sort of performance of the 2 for what you see in the video. I didn't do any sound sort of production except for the very end of the solo, just try and match it to, you know, what Zeppelin did at the very end on that last little speed riff that Jimmy plays. He double tracks it. There's a second, you know, overdub that comes in and it's panned to one side. And it sounds like it's got a lot more treble on the EQ on it. And just for fun, I just grabbed that little slice of the piece that I didn't use in the performance and just used that as the overdub audio just for that little section at the very, very last few seconds at the end, just for fun. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. Please like and subscribe and ring the bell. It really does make a difference. And I appreciate you joining me every week. And let me know what you'd like to hear next time. And until then, take care, everybody.